already knows this, but hi, my name is Natalie Kessler. I'm a senior in Edge, and I will be going to Rutgers University to study history and anthropology in the fall. And my senior capstone project was the Johnson Society, and I'll explain what that is here in just a couple minutes. So welcome to this presentation, and we all have a great time. So first we're going to explore what the Johnson Society is and what it means to me. Then we're going to explore what exactly the Johnson Society will be reading and why it is important to read those materials. Then we can talk about why the Johnson Society was founded and what the exact purpose of it is. Its plans for the future, since I will be graduating, I'll need to find new leaders and actually begin conducting meetings. And then we'll wrap it all up. So firstly, what is the Johnson Society? Well, the Johnson Society is a book club for queer teens in Liberty, Missouri. Why did they do that? There we go. There aren't a lot of spaces outside of school for LGBTQ plus teens in Liberty, so instead of creating a book club or a GSA type thing inside the school, which already exists, it has to be kind of hidden due to the sort of negative outlook on LGBTQ plus people that a lot of students in the school have. It's a more open, accepting space out in the public for people to feel safe and belong. So the club is named after Marsha P. Johnson, the Black trans woman who threw the first brick at Stonewall. And I have a quote from her here. She said, "I'll always be known for reaching out to young people who have no one to help them out. So I help them out with a place to stay or some food to eat or some change for their pocket. And they never forget it. A lot of times I've reached my hand out to people in the gay community that just didn't have nobody to help them when they were down and out." And this is the poster that I made for the Johnson Society that would theoretically be put up at the library and throughout the school. It would probably have a white background instead of a black background in practical application, but online it could look like this. Potentially in businesses throughout the community, other schools in the district, just really get the word out. Social media with the digital version, everything like that, to just create some publicity for it, let everybody know where and when it is. It's in the early evenings to account for everybody's after school activities. I specifically put it at from 6:30 to 8 because earlier in the year I thought that the actual meetings would start a lot earlier, so I wanted to account for my after school theater activities, and it would be at the Woodneath-Macon Public Library, probably on Wednesdays. Alright, so what books would the Johnson Society be reading? Well, throughout the year, most of my project has actually been reading and compiling a reading list for this club. So all those book titles on the screen are books that I did read this year in part of preparation for this presentation. And that is not all of them, there are more than that, but that's just like a chunk of the list. And they're all books about queer topics or starring queer characters. And I actually liked all of them. There were only one or two where it took me a little while to get into them, but they were actually all pretty good books. And why is it important to read LGBTQ plus fiction? As it says up there, it's because it is diverse. Not just in the color or sexuality or creed of the characters, but also in genre and in message. And it just, if you're willing to read queer fiction, it opens up a whole new list of books that you can absorb. Every book is an expansion of your personal worldview, and this is just a whole new world to look into. And like I said, LGBTQ plus fiction is not a genre, it stretches across all genres. Alright, so what caused me to form the Johnson Society? Well, the main purpose of the Johnson Society, beyond of course expanding people's worldviews with queer fiction, is to create a sense of community for LGBTQ plus teens in Liberty and just the greater, I mean, if they want to come from around the greater Kansas City area, that would be great. But it will, like I said, it'll inspire them to broaden their horizons, but also create a sense of belonging, a place to be themselves, a place to meet people like themselves, both the other people in the club and the fictional people in the stories, to find a place in the world where they are not alone, and they can find that there is nothing wrong with them, that they are just a bit different, and that is okay. So, what are the plans for the future after all? Yesterday was my last day of high school ever. I'll be going off to college in the fall. So what's the plan to get these meetings actually started and to pass on this club to some of my underclassmen? and actually get that meeting place and time set up, talk to the manager, talk to the librarians, make sure that there is a safe and accessible place to do it. Communicate with my future club leaders. They're already picked out, but I need to tell them the more specific plans for the future once I have them formulated. I need to make meeting plans for exactly how the meeting would be laid out, because I don't have a lot of experience leading clubs, and then actually begin conducting meetings for the Johnson Society. These are my future club leaders. They are two very close friends of mine, Richie and Lexi. They are some of my theater friends. They were on costume / hair and makeup crew for a lot of the shows. They're both just really cool people. They're both members of the community, and they're just awesome. Lexi is a junior and Richie is a sophomore, so there will be a bit of time before they need to hand it off to a new set of people. So, and like I said, they're just awesome. So I feel like they're great candidates for future club leaders. I was also going to invite Alethea to be a part of this, but Sophie kind of snatched her up before I could, so she's got a lot on her plate. It's fine. Alright, so in conclusion, the books, like I said, they're important, but the main focus of the Johnson Society is not just reading books, it's having a place to belong. It's about knowing that you're not alone, that there are other people that live near you, that are within your age group, that are just like you, and that there's nothing wrong